Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Podcast Center. Today, we have an exciting topic: how to make learning as fun and addictive as social media. Marco, do you think people spend too much time on social media?
Oh yes, Katharina. People scroll for hours, watching videos, reading posts, and chatting. But what if we could do the same with learning English?
That's a great idea. What if learning was so fun that we didn't want to stop? Today, we will share tips to make learning English feel exciting, just like scrolling through your favorite app.
And, of course, we'll introduce some new words and useful phrases. So, listeners, get ready to learn.
New vocabulary.
Addictive.
Something you can't stop doing. Example: social media is addictive.
Scroll.
Move up and down on a screen. Example: I scroll through videos for hours.
Exciting.
Very interesting and fun. Example: learning English can be exciting.
Challenge.
A fun task or goal. Example: let's try a 7-day English challenge. Useful phrases.
I can't stop watching. I can't stop watching English videos. Let's try a challenge. Let's try a new English word every day. Make it a habit. Make learning English a daily habit.
Marco, are you ready to turn English learning into a fun challenge?
I sure am. Listeners, get comfortable and let's start.
Stay with us as we share tips to make learning English as exciting as social media. All right, Marco, let's talk about making learning English fun. People love social media because it's exciting. How can we make learning English feel the same?
Good question, Katharina. On social media, people watch short, fun videos. So, we can do the same with English. Watch short English videos every day.
Yes, and don't just repeat what you hear. Try to say the sentences like the person in the video. This helps with pronunciation.
That's a great tip. Also, people love social media because they can comment and talk to others. So, find an English group online and start chatting.
Good idea. And use fun English phrases when you chat. Listeners, try this. Instead of saying "that's good," say "that's awesome" or "that's amazing."
Nice one. Also, on social media, people like challenges. So, make an English challenge for yourself. For example, learn one new word every day.
Yes, or record yourself speaking English for 1 minute every day. After a week, listen to yourself. You will hear your improvement.
That sounds fun. Listeners, do you use social media? What do you do there?
Maybe you like to post pictures? You can do the same in English. Post a picture and write a short English sentence about it.
Oh, I like that. If you post a picture of your food, right, I am eating a delicious pizza. Simple and fun.
Great example. Also, let's talk about habits. People check social media every day. What if we check English words every day instead?
That's smart. Every morning, learn one new word before checking your phone. Make it a habit.
Yes, and say the word out loud. Listeners, try this now. Say, learning English is fun. Go ahead, say it.
Yes, say it with us. Learning English is fun. See, speaking is easy when you practice.
That's right, Marco. Learning English can be as fun as social media. You just need the right habits.
Katharina, I have another idea. People love to like and share posts on social media. We can do the same with English. When you learn a new word, share it with a friend.
Yes, teach your friend or even post the word online. For example, today's word is exciting. You can write, "Learning English is exciting," and share it.
Great. And another fun way to learn, use emojis. When chatting in English, don't just write words, add fun emojis to help express yourself.
Yes, if you are happy, use a happy emoji. If you are surprised, use a surprised emoji. This makes learning more fun and natural.
I like that. Oh, and here's a fun tip: pretend your phone is in an English-speaking country. Change your phone's language to English.
Oh, that's smart. When your phone says settings instead of options, you will learn new words without even trying.
Exactly. And speaking of pretending, what if we imagine our favorite social media app is only in English? No more scrolling in your language, just English.
That's a challenge. Listeners, can you do it? Try using social media in English for one whole day.
That's a great challenge. And don't forget, when you watch a video in English, turn on the subtitles. Read while you listen.
Yes, this helps you understand words better and learn spelling at the same time.
And here's a question for our listeners. What is one English word or phrase you learned today? Write it in the comments.
Good one, Marco. Learning is more fun when we do it together. Just like social media connects people, English connects people too.
That's right, Katharina. The more you use English, the better you get. Just like on social media, the more you post, the more fun it becomes.
Marco, here's another idea. People love challenges on social media. What if we make a fun English challenge for our listeners?
Oh, great idea. How about this every day? Listeners can write one short sentence in English and post it somewhere. Maybe on social media or in a notebook.
Yes, and make it simple. Like, today, I feel happy, or I love learning English.
Nice. And for extra fun, use new words. If you learned the word delicious, you can say, "This cake is delicious."
That's perfect. Listeners, try it now. Look around you and make a simple sentence about what you see.
I see a cup of coffee, so I can say, "I'm drinking coffee." What about you, Katharina?
I see a book, so I can say, I am reading a book.
See, it's easy, just like posting on social media, but now you're posting in your mind.
Yes, and let's talk about another fun trick: voice messages. On social media, people send voice notes all the time, so why not do it in English?
Oh, I love that. Listeners, try sending a short English voice message to a friend. Say something simple like, "Hello, how are you today?"
And if you don't have a friend to send it to, record yourself. Listen to your voice and try to improve.
Exactly. The more you speak, the more confident you feel. Just like in social media, the more you post, the more comfortable you get.
That's true. And Marco, another thing, people love music on social media. We can use songs to learn English too.
Oh yes, listeners, find a short English song, listen to the lyrics, and try to sing along. It's a great way to learn pronunciation.
Yes, and if you don't understand some words, look them up. Then use those words in your daily life.
Perfect. And here's a fun tip: if you love a song, try writing your own short English lyrics. Even just 1 or 2 lines.
Wow, that sounds so fun. Listeners, do you have a favorite English song? Tell us in the comments.
Yes, share with us. And remember, learning English should be fun, just like social media.
Marco, another thing people love on social media is storytelling. They share their daily life, funny moments, or even short stories. This can help in learning English too.
Oh, absolutely. Listeners, try this. Think of a small moment from your day and describe it in English. Even something simple, like today, I woke up early and drank tea.
Yes, it doesn't have to be long, just a few sentences. And if you want, write it in a journal or post it online.
That's a great habit. And here's another idea: use hashtags, like #LearningEnglish or #EnglishPractice. You might find other people learning too.
Oh, I love that. And speaking of hashtags, do you know another fun way to practice? Memes.
Yes, English memes are everywhere. Find one, read it, and try to understand the joke. If you don't get it, look up the words.
Exactly. And you can even create your own memes in English. Just take a funny picture and write a short caption.
That's a great way to practice creativity and humor in English. And humor is an important part of language learning.
Yes, and humor makes learning more fun. Oh, and Marco, what about using quotes? People love inspirational quotes on social media.
Oh, definitely. Listeners, find a short English quote that you like and try to say it every day. For example, practice makes perfect.
Or never give up. Short quotes help with motivation and also improve vocabulary.
That's true. And after you learn a quote, try writing your own short motivational sentence in English.
Yes, something like, every day, I learn a new word. That way, you stay positive and practice at the same time.
Oh, I love that. And here's another tip: change your social media bio to English. Even just a few words, like English learner, book lover, coffee fan.
Great idea! Listeners, try updating your bio in English. It's a small change, but it helps you think in English more often.
Exactly. And the more you see English, the more natural it feels. It's like training your brain.
Yes, and small habits like these make a big difference over time. English learning should be part of daily life, just like social media.
Katharina, here's another idea. On social media, people love commenting on posts. Why not use that for English practice?
Oh, yes. Listeners, when you see an English post, try writing a small comment. Something simple, like "Great post" or "I love this idea."
Exactly. And if you want to practice more, ask a question. Like, "What do you think about this?" Or "Can you explain more?" That way, you start a conversation.
Yes, and conversations help you learn faster. Even if you make mistakes, that's okay. The important thing is to keep trying.
That's a great point. And speaking of trying, another fun way to learn is by reading captions on photos.
Oh, I love that. People write captions under their pictures. You can read them and try to understand the meaning.
Yes. And then, try writing your own captions in English. For example, if you post a picture of your coffee, you can write, "Enjoying a cup of coffee this morning."
Perfect. And if you're not ready to post, just practice writing captions in a notebook. It still helps.
Absolutely. And here's another cool trick: try describing pictures in English. Look at an image and say what you see.
Yes, like, "The sky is blue and the sun is shining." This is great practice for speaking and thinking in English.
Oh, and Katharina, what about podcasts? Social media has so many short videos and audio clips. These are great for learning English.
Yes, listeners, find a short English podcast or video and listen for a few minutes every day. Even if you don't understand everything, just listening helps a lot.
That's true. And if you hear a new word, write it down and try using it in a sentence.
Yes, learning one new word a day can make a big difference. Imagine after 1 year, you'll know 365 new words.
Wow, that's a great way to think about it. And here's another fun challenge: try explaining something in English without using your native language.
Oh, that's a fun game. Like, if you don't know the word for umbrella, you can say, "It's something you use when it rains."
Exactly. This helps you think in English and use the words you already know.
Yes, and it also makes you more confident. Listeners, try this with a friend or even talk to yourself.
Great idea. The more you practice, the better you get. Just like social media, learning English should be fun and part of your daily life.
Marco, you know what else people love on social media? Challenges. What if we turn English learning into a challenge?
Oh, that's brilliant. Listeners, here's a simple challenge every day. Write down 5 new English words you see on social media or anywhere around you.
Yes, and don't just write them, try using them in a sentence. For example, if you learn the word amazing, you can say, "This podcast is amazing."
Good example. And here's another fun challenge: try speaking for 1 minute in English every day.
That's a great idea. Listeners, set a timer for 1 minute and talk about anything. Your day, your plans, or even what you had for breakfast.
Exactly. The goal is not to be perfect but to practice thinking in English. And if you don't know a word, just describe it.
Yes, like we said before, if you don't know refrigerator, just say, "It's the thing that keeps food cold."
See, that's a great way to keep learning without stopping when you forget a word.
And you know what helps with speaking? Reading aloud. When you read something in English, don't just read in your mind, say it out loud.
Oh, I love that tip. Listeners, find a short paragraph or even a social media post and read it aloud. It helps with pronunciation and confidence.
Yes, and if you want to improve even more, record yourself and listen. You'll notice your progress over time.
That's a great habit. And speaking of habits, let's talk about how to stay consistent. Many people start learning English but stop after a few weeks.
That's true, but small daily habits make learning easier. Listeners, try setting a reminder on your phone to practice English for just 5 minutes every day.
Yes, it can be listening to a short podcast, reading a few sentences, or even watching a short English video.
Exactly. Learning a little every day is better than learning a lot once a week and then forgetting everything.
Right. And another trick: find an English buddy. Learning with a friend makes it more fun and keeps you motivated.
Yes, even if you don't have an English-speaking friend, you can find a learning partner online or practice speaking by yourself.
Oh, and another great tool: flashcards. Use apps or write words on paper. When you have a free moment, just review them quickly.
Great tip! Flashcards help you remember words faster. You can even draw pictures on them to make learning more fun.
Yes, learning should be fun, just like scrolling through social media. The key is to make English part of your daily life in small, enjoyable ways.
Marco, I just thought of something. People check their phones so many times a day. What if they use that time to learn a little English?
That's a great idea. Listeners, instead of scrolling mindlessly, follow pages that share English tips, watch short educational videos, or even play word games.
Yes, and change your phone settings to English. That way, every time you check your phone, you see English words.
Exactly. And speaking of small changes, another habit is to write your daily to-do list in English. Even simple things like buy milk or finish homework help you think in English.
That's so true. The more you surround yourself with English, the more natural it becomes.
And remember, listeners, learning a language is a journey, not a race. Don't worry about mistakes, just keep going.
All right, let's sum up. We talked about making English learning fun, just like social media. Try small habits: reading captions, commenting, listening to podcasts, and even setting challenges.
Yes, speak a little every day, read out loud, use flashcards, and turn your phone into an English learning tool.
Most importantly, don't be afraid of mistakes. Every mistake is a step forward.
Absolutely. Learning English should feel natural and fun, not stressful. Just like social media, make it part of your daily routine.
And if you found these tips helpful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our podcast.
Yes, and share this episode with your friends who are also learning English. Let's grow together.
Keep practicing, keep learning, and remember, small steps every day lead to big success.
Happy learning, everyone. See you next time.
Bye, everyone.